Welcome to Shauna's Avenue, your source for local news that matters. Stay informed, stay connected as we dive in and explore what's happening in Jamaica today, right here on Shauna's Avenue. A desk with flowers shines brightly amid a wave of sadness which engulfs students and teachers at Titchfield High in a classroom once occupied by grade 9 student Jajon Winter, who was killed in a motor vehicle accident in Portland on Tuesday. It was an extremely somber mood at the school on Wednesday as students and teachers struggled to come to grips with the untimely passing of Winter and another grade 9 student, Onaja Lindsay. Principal Richard Thompson told the news on Wednesday that it was a heart-wrenching moment for the entire population at the institution, with the passing of not only the 2 male students, but also the injury of 5 other students who are hospitalized. Walker and Lindsay were promising students who were destined for greatness. 5 other students remain at hospital, and my understanding is that 3 of those students were transferred late yesterday to Kingston Public Hospital, Thompson pointed out. A team from the Ministry of Education is now visiting the school, offering support and counseling to grieving teachers and students who are still in a state of shock following the horrific accident. It is reported that shortly after 4 p.m. Tuesday, a car being driven by a man was heading in a westerly direction towards Buff Bay when it slammed into a parked truck loaded with boulders, which was at the side of the road after developing mechanical problems. 2 men are dead and another hospitalized following a gun attack in Burnside Valley Red Hills, St. Andrew this morning. The incident occurred sometime after 9 o'clock. The dead men, who are reportedly in their 20s, are not from the community. Their bodies are still at the scene. Investigators are now at the location. More to come. Barbados-born United States businessman Omar Collymore was today found guilty of orchestrating the January 2018 murder of his wife, Simone Campbell Collymore, and taxi driver Winston Walters. Contract killer Michael Adams and accomplice Dwayne Pink were also found guilty of facilitating the murder. Shaquilla Edwards was, however, found not guilty on 2 counts of murder, but guilty of conspiracy to murder. The 7-member jury found the men guilty of 2 counts of murder and murder conspiracy after deliberating for nearly 2.5 hours. The victims were killed when men rode up on motorbikes and sprayed them with bullets as they waited to be let inside Campbell Collymore's Forest Ridge apartment complex in Red Hills, St. Andrew. The mother of 2 was shot 19 times, while the taxi driver was shot 5 times. The trial of the 4 men heard that Collymore hired Adams to facilitate the murder of his wife and that Edwards and Pink allegedly played a role in surveilling the businesswoman's movements before her death. One of the triggermen in Campbell Collymore's murder previously testified that he was told that the hit was for $2 million. Wade Blackwood, a confessed member of the unruly gang, who is currently serving 2 life sentences for the murders, had disclosed that he got the price tag from the other shooter, Jim, the now deceased alleged leader of the unruly gang to which they all reportedly belonged. Blackwood also testified that Adams was the contract killer and was the one who spoke with the man who had ordered the hit on the woman. Among the evidence presented was that Collymore was the sole beneficiary on his wife's $21 million life insurance policy and was allotted 70% of her second life insurance policy worth $80 million. Campbell Collymore had finalized an $80 million life insurance policy less than 3 months before she was murdered to add to the $21 million policy. Collymore also took out a life insurance policy for $80 million with his wife and children as beneficiaries. Phone data evidence also showed that there was continuous communication between Collymore and the contract killer on the days leading up to his wife's murder, and in one of the text messages sent 2 days before her death, he was urging the person to hurry up and to do it this morning. The data also showed a pattern where Collymore would often call his wife before calling or attempting to make contact with the contract killer, often within the space of a minute. Specifically, phone data records showed that Collymore had called his wife for a minute half an hour before she was murdered, and immediately after he made another minute-long call to the man whom he contracted to have her killed. The phone data records further revealed that Adams and one of the shooters, Jim, exchanged several calls on the day of the shooting. Cell site data also placed Jim close to the woman's apartment when the calls started. However, Collymore and Adams, in their defense, said that there was no conspiracy and that their frequent communication was about business, specifically about phones that Adams were given to sell and the return of some which were defective. Collymore also maintained that he loved his wife dearly and would never kill her. Additionally, he said he was not aware of the details of her $80 million life insurance policy and would not have sanctioned her leaving him 70% of the benefit. Pink also maintained his innocence and that he did not take part in the murder plot, while Edwards said that he was initially involved but did not know the full details and eventually pulled out before the murder was committed.
My name is Wayne Campbell, father of Simone Campbell. I don't know the other name. Yeah. Yes, today is my birthday, so it's a special birthday gift. As usual, my daughter always delivers my birthday. Oh, yeah. And that's the last birthday my gift was an iPhone. Yes, so the reality of the situation though is that with this verdict, won't bring her back, but we'll have some form of position. You understand? So at the end of the day, we'll have something to say to the kids and to say exactly what transpired and this is the end. You know what I mean? And it's an unfortunate situation, but at the same time, in our grief and in spite of everything that happened, we still have to give God thanks. We still have to give God the glory. He knows why He allows it to happen. You know what I mean? So we still not leaning on our own understanding, still trusting God. And He'll see us through. He has walked with us through this journey, and I'm sure that it doesn't. Outside of that, too, I would really like to say thanks to the DPP's office for the hard work, hours that they put in. You know what I mean? It was difficult, night and day, hours and night. You know what I mean? But for the work that they put in to bring the disclosure. Also the police, JCF, for the tremendous job that they did. You know what I mean? And in Jamaica, this is how things set up. People don't trust the justice system. But I can stand here as a witness and say to people that if we give the justice system a chance, it can work and it will work. You understand? I must congratulate the police again. There's a lot of persons that is involved. I can't call everybody's name, but I want to say thanks to the JCF, and especially to Sergeant Bunty. Right.
Was this the verdict you expected?
Oh, definitely. I don't want to use a word to say that we're sure, but this is what we expect.
Never doubt.
We trust God. No, man. Once you trust God, man, you don't walk with doubt, man. Once you trust God, and God has been on our side, God has favored us, and we know He will continue to favor us. This will not heal the wound, but this will help.
We have seen you, well, not just you, but members of the family sat in court over the last 4 months. What was going through your mind when Collymore took the stand?
Going through my mind, no, it was painful to see him understand saying the thing that he's saying. We open our home with the family, open and receive him. You know what I mean? As I had said in the court, that we used to hear each other's stories. And to hear him paint the family, understanding there like we were cats and dogs, and that's the way we live. The whole Jamaica can tell you because we used to go together. And people would not believe that he's married to my daughter, the sort of relationship that we share. You know what I mean? They thought we were friends. But we still pray for him, ask God to save him soul.
Oh, forgiveness. Have you forgiven him or?
I'm hoping to forgive this. I'm hoping to forgive him. I'm not going to tell it that I have, but through God and with the help of God, I'll be able to overcome. So yes, I'm hoping to forgive him.
Any words, Mommy?
All I can say, God is good.
All the time.
And He never fails us. And because of God was in the midst of everything, that's why we can rejoice today on His birthday. Because we pray for that and we receive it. And you know, I just want to say thanks, as my husband said it all already. I just want to endorse it more. Thanks to every one of the members of the security force who was involved by ensuring that justice is served.
After your daughter passed, when you called Collymore, you said you were accusing him, saying that you know that he was the one who was
I don't know how I say that. To be honest with you, I called him and I said, Omar, what happened to Simone? No answer. Omar, what happened to Simone? No answer. I said, Omar, what happened to Simone? You mean you take Simone out of my house and go kill her? I don't know why I said that. It's a policeman come on the phone and say, Mommy, where are you? I'm saying, I'm home. Are you sitting, standing, or, you know, whatever? I said, officer, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Just tell me the truth. What happened to my daughter? And he said she was shot.
So it's not like you were suspicious of?
No, I don't know why I said that. Because Omar was a person who was so loving. Omar was my son. I have him as a son. We live as a big, happy family. You understand? And to see that, let me tell you, there are some things that came out in the court. And even at the very moment when they asked Omar to give a statement, and Omar refused, he said he will not give a statement until his attorney presented. And I was like, come on. You know, that alone sent up a signal to me. My antenna raised right away. And I said, you know, something is really wrong. Something is wrong somewhere. And even though he's saying that, I still never have him that he's a person, he's a culprit, organized all of this.
When did it register to you that, you know?
You mean
after the murder?
After the murder?
Yes.
When they started to call
when they decided skip and jump and they're all over the place.
when they took him off the plane on the day of
the
her
funeral
service. Because after her death, you know, we are still communicating.
But you know the
my
funny
husband and
thing,
him
until
were
the court say him not know when our funeral, and I personally tell him the time of the funeral, the location, even the night before the funeral, we have the what it means, set up?
No, the
Nine.
No man, set up man.
Yeah.
I call him and tell him that what we're doing and all of that.
Did he promise to show up?
Yes, he did. I am the one who was on the phone with my husband also, and I said, Omar, remember the date of the funeral service will be this, that. If you want to put in it, if there's anything that you want to contribute, let us know. And he said, okay, Mom, because he called my mom and called him Pops.
2 persons have been rushed to hospital, while another is dead after their vehicle overturned near the Old Harbour exit of the PJ Patterson Highway in St. Catherine on Wednesday afternoon. The Fire Brigade's Divisional Commander for St. Catherine, Superintendent Dennis Lyon, says the Old Harbour Fire Station was alerted about the crash about 5:19 p.m. Lyon says the truck overturned into a ditch along the highway, trapping the deceased man, who remains unidentified. Fire personnel had to await the assistance of a wrecker to retrieve the man's body from beneath the truck. Relatives of the deceased who arrived on the scene complained about how long it took for the fire services to free the man's body.